allergies, man. Wow. Forgive the sniffles through this video and throughout the past several videos, like literally going back weeks and weeks, because my allergies suck and I can't help it. So I just want to say that ahead of time. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you've been following along with the content, you know that it's starter squad prep time, a very important part of the year if you want to hit the ground running. Now, why is it so important? Because as soon as you get the game, you're going to start doing your foundational SBCs. You're going to start slowly gathering coins on the companion app day, which comes, companion app / web app comes the day before the game comes out. Then the game comes, you have your squad of players that EA Sports gives you, and slowly but surely you'll start getting your gold cards. You'll start opening packs. You won't get any FC points until the full release. And so it's just this slow cycle of gaining coins through playing the game, squad battles, right? If you dare jump straight into rivals without even a solid team, maybe that way. Once you do get your coins, there's drafts, stuff like that. And next thing you know, you'll finally start gaining enough coins to start hitting the transfer market if you want to, consumables, all these different things. And you have to have a plan in place or you'll get shell-shocked. You won't know what to do. And there's so many mistakes players make right off the bat, and they don't realize how bad it affects them as far as team building goes, as far as how many coins they have. They don't realize how many mistakes they make right off the bat. So, up to this point, we've covered through FootMind's release of this database, which isn't as good, but you got to give FootMind credit. They released it, and it has all the players' accurate stats. So, salute to them. It worked out for goalkeepers, for wingbacks, for center backs, for CDMs, and for CMs, right? Now we're up to cams, and then of course we have both wings, left and right, as well as striker. So we are moving today, starting with our attack. From our defense into CM, obviously can be, it's more box-to-box, more all-around players that can sometimes even play cam, sometimes play CDM, sometimes they could play either. A player like, let's say, Rabiot. And as we move into cam, I just wanted to note the importance of noting down these players. So then, when you get into the game, you already have a reference point as far as what players to check into, what players to kind of see how their value is looking. Any of these players on the list for any of these positions, if they're affordable, they're absolutely worth picking up. Then, if you do get enough coins and you feel like you're ready for this, you could start to invest, but you have to flip quickly. Meaning, if you get any of the players that I mentioned, for instance, we'll start with one today. We'll go to Szoboszlai, right? If you start with a player like Szoboszlai, right here, he's Premier League, which is the most popular starter squad league, the most popular league, period, as well as Liverpool. The one thing holding Szoboszlai back would be his nationality, Hungary, right? However, most likely he is going to be a very high-priced, overpriced, if you will, starter card. You do not want to sink coins into him, most likely. But let's say you get in early enough and you see that he has a value and you're experienced enough to know that's going to go up. You grab X amount of him, 3, 5, 10, and then you quickly flip them right away, right? I'm talking within the first week. If you get them, like, let's say the first day somehow, you're not going to have enough coins after the, like, companion app day. But let's just say you do get enough coins after the first, second, third, fourth day. Up to the first week, I think that you can definitely invest in a player like Szoboszlai, these popular players, and quickly flip them, and you will gain coins without a doubt. But don't hang on to these players because they will crash. You don't even want to buy one to use in your team because before you know it, they're going to crash, and next thing you realize is you lost a ton of coins from a starter team that you created that you could have easily got just as good of a team, maybe even a better team. We're going to talk about the right players to look for if you would have went a different route. And we've already gone over this in some of the other positions, but it doesn't hurt to revisit just to make sure you totally understand all the rules, right? But you see Zoboslai as a cam, he can also play CM, 4-4, weak foot, skill moves, 79 pace, 82 shooting, 84 passing, 82 dribbling, 67 defense, 76 physical. Just an excellent player. That's the bottom line. He has power shot, whip pass, and technical as regular play styles, which is something that we didn't go over in depth or even at all for the other positions, the play styles and stuff, because that database didn't have this. But I would say, while you definitely want to look into that for these players, before you step out into the pitch, we're not at a point in the game where these play styles are going to make and break who you go for. The main thing that you want to go for with the starter squad is the affordability. You look at the face stats. If you want to go in and look at these more in particular, that's fine. But as long as they can get out on the pitch and perform for you at the start and they're affordable, you're good to go. That's all you need from them, right? You're not going to go after Zoboslai just because, let's say, he has technical and another player doesn't. It's going to be way worse that you go for a player like Zoboslai that's going to be overpriced, a popular overpriced player, and lose your coins. It's going to be way worse than playing with another player with great stats, but he doesn't have technical, or she doesn't have technical, okay? So the rules of player purchasing change, and they're very important. Because let's say you do react smartly to purchasing players. For instance, women's players. They're never at the value of men's players. Like the higher rated ones, even the bigger name starter cards, let's say, yes, right? Especially like you have Katarina Macario. 83 pace, 82 shooting, 80 passing, 86 dribbling, 72 physical, right? She can also play striker and CM, 4-3, and she has dead ball, game changer, and technical. You click into game changer, you see it's a very good, well, we already know the game changer is what includes the Trivela shots, and then I'm drawing a blank, but there's another one that includes the Trivela pass, and it's almost like a trickster, right? They kind of combine some. But this game changer is what includes the Trivela shots. And so, right off the bat, very good play styles. On top of she's already a great card. Even if she had, let's say, no play styles, she'd be a great starter card. Well, she's American, so that's not huge on the chemistry part as far as starter cards go. But she does play for Chelsea, so you do get some connection with the popular Premier League for starter cards where a lot of players will sink coins into. So there's no doubt that she has a very good chance of being overpriced. You just have to pay attention to that, right? But as we scroll through here, and we're actually going to start deeper, like a player like Trincao, that's a good example. A player like Trincao, 80 pace, 80 shooting, 79 passing, 84 dribbling, 71 physical, right? He is a 4-2. But look at all these play styles he has right off the bat. Finesse shot, low driven, incisive pass, inventive. That's the one with the Trivela pass. Technical, first touch, and trickster. So you got to make sure you understand. Both of them have like that kind of Trivela picture. Inventive is the passing Trivela along with some other things. And game changer is the actual Trivela shot play style. Okay? But Trincao, he's in the Portuguese league, right? And he plays for Sporting Lisbon, so that's not very popular, but he is Portugal international. Therefore, if you have some Portuguese players, you can no doubt get him on Kim, and his stats are perfectly fine for a starter card at the attacking mid position, right? You could throw a catalyst on him. You could even throw an engine on him if you wanted, even though for a starter card he has good dribbling, and you're not going to have to worry about him dropping in so much value that you just totally lose coins, which is bound to happen with these type of Zoboslai players, right? So, moving on. We already got Trincao on our list. I want to go down to some lower rated players and then work our way up. We'll start at 80 because there'll be plenty of cams from 80 to 84. Now, that's another thing. Why did I put 80 to 84 as, my spotlight of what players to look for? Because just as a rule of thumb, 85 and up is where you start getting into that next level of starter squad players, right? Or you can call them starter cards if you want. But you start getting into that middleman level, right? Between, let's say, 86, 85, maybe even some 87s. Then up from there, you get to the top gold cards that you actually want, that are going to keep their value. Not only that, but they're going to raise in value from early release, if you get the Ultimate Edition, all the way through into, a month, 2 months into the game. Even when promos and stuff start coming out, you have to recognize, okay, this is a top gold card. This is going to be worth some coins, and it's going to keep its value and go up. Those are the type of cards you want to save up for and invest in. You don't want to overpay at all for these lower level cards we're looking at. This is your day one team, the team you start off with that you can go out in the pitch and compete just fine. Maybe you're going to hit some whales out there. I typically hit like one or two, not many, but that just automatically, if it's early release, you don't have to worry about that. That's actually why they don't do the FC points right off the bat, because then whales can get so far ahead since the full release players don't even have the game yet, right? So they make you wait. So it's not totally just the market's all mess up and players aren't way far behind. But after full release, you are going to see a couple whales, not many, but you will hit a couple that just go out and buy the best of the best players. They just sink as much money as they have to get enough coins, right? They just keep buying tradable packs then to get enough coins to buy the exact players they want. Van Dijk in the back, Salah on the wing. You could go Vinny even out wide. Some of them will even save up to buy Mbappe, which is insane amounts of money. But players will do it. If not that, like you'll see, I don't know, like an Isak this year looks pretty on top of the game, Palmer in the attacking mid position, whoever. Players like that, right? You're going to see one or two of those at the beginning, but a lot of times, for whatever reason, I've noticed they aren't the most skilled players, and even if they are and you get destroyed, so be it. They sunk a lot of money in for that one win, so congrats to them. But you want players like, let's see here, just scrolling through. Even a Sudakov, if somehow you can make a Ukrainian work, 81 pace, 77 shooting, 78 passing, 81 dribbling, you throw, again, an engine on him, perfectly fine for your starter squad. Right? You look here, incisive pass, first touch, quick step as his regular play styles. Most likely you're not going to be able to make Sudakov hit chemistry, but just saying stat-wise. Vicky Lopez, 1,000%, and not to mention the women's players, not as popular. The one thing, Spain and Barcelona, right? These women's leagues that have teams that match up, because remember they get the same chemistry with the men's teams, Barcelona all the way around gets the same chemistry, whether it's two men's players or a men's and women's player. So that's where Vicky Lopez could go up in price, as well as just even players who don't know her, who aren't necessarily looking for her. They notice that Barcelona, the Spain, that could help their chemistry. But 82 pace, 75 shooting, 77 passing, 81 dribbling, 47 defense, 57 physical, 4'4". And she stands at, 5'3", small and compact. I use her card for a bit in FC26. She's an absolute beast, right? Talk about tight dribbling, even with FC25 with the terrible gameplay, with the lethargic feel of everything. She was an exception, right? Standing at 5'3", how could you not be? Now they have even better, even tighter to the foot dribbling, right? Improve reaction time, improve passing quickness, all that. Vicky Lopez will be an absolute beast. Put her on your starter squad list, without a doubt. Now, for some reason, the Spain and Barcelona chemistry connection makes her overpriced. Do not even look her way. Rule number 1, do not overpay for starter squad players. That goes all the way up the ladder to like 85, 86s. Now, once you start getting into those upper level gold cards, those aren't starter squad cards. Those are a month to 2 months. Those are cards that you can invest in that can be in your team and that can compete, even with some of the team of the week cards that are going to come out, promos, whatever, right? And I'm not just talking your Mbappes and all that. We will go into those higher rated cards. But the middleman cards, which I would say 85 to like 86 and some 87s, you don't want to invest in those, right? You want to invest in the cards that you know are going to hold value. Anything 84 and below, you just have to look and pick the players that aren't popular. Pick the players that aren't overpriced. Going to Furman, another one a little slow because I like playing my cam as a shadow striker, but let's say you like that true number 10 or that classic number 10 where you're not really looking for them to make those runs, overlapping the striker, almost like a secondary striker, then you don't need as much pace. I like to have a little more pace when I'm playing with a shadow striker, but let's say you're not. Furman, 80 rated, 74 pace, 75 shooting, 75 passing, 82 dribbling, and then of course low D and low physical. 3-4 can play CM, left wing, and striker. Obviously real slow for a striker. You see here he has a plus rolls for shadow striker, half winger, but there you go. You do got to pay attention. I'm glad we actually went over this part. Again, the other positions didn't have this. But if you know your tactics already and you're not just getting players, building a team around what they have, if you're looking for a particular style that you want to play, a particular formation, you're going to have to look at this, right? Because I just said if I got Furman, I wouldn't use him as a shadow striker. But as a cam, he either has half winger or shadow striker. As a CM, he has playmaker, not as a cam. He doesn't have playmaker, right? He doesn't have the classic 10 or anything else. And so you go, you buy him, and then you realize this, and now you're stuck with him. He doesn't fit how you want to play. So make sure you're checking those play rules. Most players will remember this, but when you take a break, especially with how bad FC25 was, plenty of players started their little break in between games early, you can forget those little things, and it can absolutely cost you valuable coins. At the beginning, your coins mean something. Now, if you're just playing to have fun and you don't give a dang about coins, then get whoever you want, of course. But if you're playing this as a strategy game, which is what it is, if you're competing, on and off the pitch, decisions matter, right? Obviously, on the pitch, you know why decisions matter. It's the difference between a skilled player and a player that's not as good, making bad decisions. But off the pitch, it's the same thing. Smart decisions, save up coins, allow you to get better players, and you put the best team on the pitch to perform. Bad decisions mean you're going to lose all your coins, you're not going to be able to build your team as fast, and you're going to get out-teamed every game, and you're going to notice the difference between the players that opponents have and the players that you have. All that stems from decisions like what I'm talking to you about here. Pellegrini, another good starter squad card. You can absolutely put him down, right? The pace, you're going to notice it's slow across the board. There's going to be some players that don't pay enough attention to the details, and they're going to look at a player like Pellegrini and see the 75 and say, no way. But, again, let's look at their roles before I even go into it. Cam playmaker. Boom. Perfect. That's exactly where I play. I'd say anywhere between 80 to 90 and up, obviously, but anything in the 80s and above, you can put at shadow striker. Anything in the 70s, you're going to want, or even, let's say, 68 pace. I could even make that work if the player's great in the passing, dribbling department. Let's say like a Luka Modric. I talked about him as in the CM role. He could even play a deep line playmaker in the CDM role, Modric. But unbelievable passing and dribbling. Pellegrini's not that. Pellegrini, to me, only a playmaker based on the playstyle pluses, yes. Do not play him as a shadow striker. Half winger, nope. If you go that route, maybe you're playing, 4-2-3-1 narrow, but you want your outside cams to move more out wide and kind of play like a 4-2-3-1 wide, but within a 4-2-3-1 narrow, maybe you just like the positioning a little bit better because it is these slight differences in runs and positioning and stuff. With the AI, it does make a difference. So you could no doubt, if you like the 4-2-3-1 wide, you could just experiment with a player like Pellegrini and play 4-2-3-1 narrow, but use him as a half winger. However, At the pace-wise, right here, pace-wise, Pellegrini, only a playmaker. Another player, you could go with that out wide Cam. If you do 4-2-3-1 narrow or wide, or 4-4-1-1, or 4-1-2-1-2, narrow or wide, Cam-wise, only playmaker for a player that has pace as low as 75. But then 77 shooting, 80 pace, 80 dribbling, 73 defense, 73 physical. Very unique player because he can also track back and he has some good defensive duties. Or if you want to put pressure on your opponent, he's great for positioning to try to intercept balls or get in at least a position to make your opponent rush their decision and make mistakes, right? So a very good card to note down. Italian Serie A, not the most popular league, but it is one of the top leagues, right? You always say EFIGs, English, French, Italian, German, Spanish, right? Obviously not in that order, but if you ever want to like remember and you have a hard time, the biggest leagues, EFIGs, English, French, German, Italian, Spain. All right, so you guys are starting to get the picture. We're going to keep going with our players. Not as interested in Jones just because of England. Liverpool, he's going to be way overpriced and his stats aren't even that great anyways. Some of these players are at least worth looking at because either A, you can get them early enough, or B, because like the pace is so slow, players will just, nope, not looking at them, even though they lowered pace pretty much all the way around for every position. You could get lucky and steal a player like Jones for a good price. But I'm not that interested compared to other players, you know, stat-wise and what they can bring to the table. Always have I liked Anderson Talisca. Obviously, he used to be the Saudi League. Now he's over in Turkey. What is that? Is that Fenerbahce? I believe it is. Yep, Fenerbahce. Brazil is his nationality, helps too. There's some very good starter squad Brazilians. There's some very good Brazilians, period, obviously. But you see there, he has a plus role, game changer plus, so that may increase his value. Very well could. 4-4. You can see he can play striker, right wing, and CM on top of Cam. That's one thing they did this year is open up the amount of positions players can play, so it's not as limiting, which is a good thing. 76 pace, 86 shooting, 80 passing, 81 dribbling. That almost seems unrealistic, man. But it is what it is. I mean, you got to believe that these are accurate. They took a long time, Radar FC, to put this out. That 86 shooting is so insane. If you can somehow, I would look into this, though, deeper, because with that 86 shooting at Cam, playmaker, let's see what his play cells are. Yep, playmaker. Wow, that's unbelievable. You can, and if you do play a false nine, right, a player that's always coming to the ball and not making runs, that speed won't hurt you as bad. I don't really like false nine as much, but this year, I can tell you based on league footage, I'm not talking about my playing experience, based on league footage, I can tell you that those type of like false nines and stuff like that, based on the movement and passing being more important, being able to make great passing sequences, those positions like that coming to, and not just looking to like send players on through to span through balls every time, could be more valuable. So definitely note down Anderson Talisca, but also with an asterisk, recognizing he could be overpriced because this is a sick looking starter card. 81 rated is crazy, right? Moving up, I want to talk about Santos real quick. She's just under what, like, I go 75 pace and above as a rule of thumb, but one pace lower isn't going to stop me. And 75 shooting obviously isn't that great, but 80 passing, 82 dribbling, 76 physical, right? She's standing at 5'1", so just naturally with her player build, she's going to be good on the ball. Cam, she has playmaker and shadow striker. Obviously with her pace, I would go playmaker, and you put a catalyst on her if you want that passing juiced up, or a hunter on her if you want the shooting boost up. Catalyst because engine, I feel like with this low pace, wouldn't boost enough. You either want a hunter or a catalyst for offensive. Obviously, for defensive purposes, you want a shadow, right? Those are the 3 ones with the biggest pace upgrades, as you guys know, right? Is he another one you want to look out for? Excellent, but, the Spanish nationality, La Liga, obviously the team not the greatest, as far as players go to connect, but that league and that nationality, plus you see that 84 pace, which goes up to around a 92 with the Hunter. Also boosts that 77 shooting up into the 80s. He already has 80 passing, 82 dribbling. Not great defense and physical. What does he stand? About 5'7", so small, compact guy. Can play playmaker, half winger, shadow striker, but also can play right mid, inside forward, but not right winger. So that's interesting. 3-3 as well. Only 3-3. But I thought they pretty much removed that, where if you can play right mid, you can also play right wing. But maybe because it's not his main position, they don't. I think, but for all the main wingers, they can play. If they can play left wing, they can play left mid. Or if not, that's how it should be. So this is interesting to see. But again, starter squad player, worth noting down. Because if you can get a player like Issy for a good price, he is absolutely worth it. You got the speed there. With a Hunter, his shooting is good enough. And then the passing and dribbling is good enough. He can do the job, right? Even if you needed him as a right mid, he can do the job with a Hunter put on him. He'll have enough speed. Won't be the fastest, but he'll have enough, right? Same with Ricardo Horta, another Portuguese player. If you're playing multiple cams, you put him together with, who do we talk about earlier? Let's see, who's that? Trincao. You put him with Trincao. Boom, 2 Portuguese players. There's some Portuguese women out there that are going to be affordable as well. But Ricardo Horta, you see, plenty of positions, as with a lot of the players. Main positions can, but he can also play left and right mid, CM. Another player without the wingers on there, though. But the pace, you wouldn't really want him on the wings anyway. 78 pace. 81 shooting, 81 passing, 82 dribbling, right? Finesse shot, power shot, ping pass, tiki-taka at first touch. He can play playmaker in the cam role or half winger, and then left and right mid. He could play inside forward, right? Again, I would only put him out of these role pluses, playmaker, but could be excellent. We're going over the cams right now anyways, not really the wingers, but because they have so many different position abilities this year, some of these players can play multiple, right? That's why I added the left and right backs together, because I didn't think they were going to do this. The crazy thing is they added a lot of the left backs can also play right back. The only thing you got to watch with that, and same with these cams that can play wingers, look for their weak foot, right? You see here 3-4. Oh, and I'm drawing a blank. 3. Okay, skill weak. Skill weak. I always mess that up when it's up here and it doesn't say it. So skills go first, then weak foot. So he has his 4-star weak foot. Very good. He can easily, for a starter card, he can play both sides. We're all used to the end of the game, the footies, the 99 rated cards. Everybody has had 5-star for a long time. Nope. Start of the game, you might even accept some 3-3s. A lot of players won't touch 3-3s, but for the start of the game, depending on their position, come on, man. If they're good enough, you can deal with that for a starter card, without a doubt, without it hurting you too much. Again, the name of the game, obviously you want to win, but it's saving coins. And what you'll find out pretty quickly is when you get on the pitch, the difference between, let's say, Ricardo Horta and an Nkunku, who is a French international from Chelsea. Yes, he's 81 rated, but Lacroix, Van de Ven, Tomori, all these players are lower rated. It doesn't matter. When they have good stats, especially like center back, for instance, speed is like, people are obsessed with it. In the past, it's meant more than it does. I can tell you that, like, this year, I love the fact how much positioning matters, right? Not just positioning either. Your stats matter. Your defensive awareness, your tackles, stuff matters, because when you line a player up, you have way more room for error the better the stats are on the player. They'll cover more ground animation-wise. Almost like the old shoulder bars that you could do from a million miles away, and the player would make a perfect tackle still. Then they changed it where anticipate and anticipate plus really was which players could still do that from further away, like shoulder barge that makes a great tackle. But with other players, it's all about timing now, tackling shoulder barges, because they have lower, defensive awareness, defensive positioning, and lower tackling. Well, that makes sense. That's a good way to translate the stats and to make them count in game. Simple as that. So Nkunku is going to be one of those players that's ridiculously overpriced. I know I went off on a side tangent there, but that was important, important information. It's just like little nuggets. You gain information along the way. But moving back into the topic at hand, Nkunku almost certainly is going to be overpriced. Without a doubt. 77 pace. Not the greatest, especially for Nkunku. It's a head scratcher. But again, they lowered the pace all the way around. So if players look at him and say, nope, and that lowers his value, so be it. But 79 shooting, 80 passing, 82 dribbling, then lower defense and physical, right? But still very good starter card. I'd put a Hunter on him, as I would with most. Offensive cards, Hunter. Defensive cards, defense for these starter cards, right? If you have some ridiculous pace player, then cool, you can boost up some other stat areas. But for the most part, all these players are going to need boosts in the pace department. He can play cam, left mid striker, CM, 5'3", so he's one of those players with 5-star skill moves. Not many of these lower rated cards have that. And then he's got the 3-star weak foot, though. For me, I'd rather have 4-star weak foot, right? 4-star, 4-star, or even 3 skills, 4-star weak foot, than 5'3". That's just me. If you're a skiller out there, you can make this work. But even a player as good as Nkunku with 3-3, for instance, I could deal with it. Just a tight little cut inside to a finesse shot, and you're good to go. Of course, he has the regular finesse shot, technical, and first touch, right? Because his pace is a lot lower, but he has good dribbling, and just knowing how Nkunku moves, I may still, if I have a left mid needed, I may still put Nkunku. Most likely, though, he's going to, wow, Cam only half winger. Left mid, inside forward, striker, false nine. Well, there you go. I put him at left mid, inside forward, so he could cut into his right foot, right? So he could cut into his right foot from the left. Only because he doesn't have Cam available. But see, that's something that could lower his price down. These players are going to want the speedier players on the wing. And he doesn't have the most popular either shadow striker or playmaker or Cam. So I could absolutely see Nkunku being a steal with good, chemistry connections. And you could put him as a left mid inside forward, right? Or even a player that rises up a bit when the full release of players comes like a week into the game, but that maybe isn't as popular among the pre-order Ultimate Edition players. So that's just something to keep an eye on, right? All of it takes you 2 seconds to search each day and note down the value, and you'll end up finding those players that are worth sniping, either for investment or to use, and the players that are way overpriced that you just ignore, right? All right, so let's get into page 1. Otavio, absolutely worth looking into. Look at that above average, well above average dribbling. 85 dribbling for a starter card, excellent. 78 pace from the pace we've seen from everyone, not terrible. His shooting, way low. His passing, 82, excellent. 70 defense, 75 physical, right? Stature, he's 5'7", 4-star skill moves, 3-star weak foot. Can play cam, can play right mid or CM. Let's look at the roles. Playmaker plus, shadow striker plus. Perfect there. Even at CM, he could play playmaker or right mid, inside forward. You see here, incisive and ping passing. Tiki-taka, which is going to be extremely powerful, technical, first touch, and relentless. I don't want to go too much into play styles because we're going to rank all of them. We're going to talk about the best play styles, the ones that aren't meaningless but close to it, right, and everything in between. But I will tell you, with how slick passing is, right, with the sharpness of it and the ability to really turn your opponent inside out if they're not real good at defensive switching, right, switching quickly with their defenders, a lot of players aren't. You can turn them inside and out, and tiki-taka just improves that even more. The passing for everybody is sharper, is quicker, but you add tiki-taka to it, and those smooth, quick, short, right, tiki-taka style passes are going to be a beautiful thing. So really note down to look for this tiki-taka playstyle, and especially tiki-taka playstyle plus as you're moving forward and really getting those marquee players for your squad. Right, but for a starter squad card, note Otavio down. I'm seeing a lot of good Portuguese players just in Cam alone. There's no doubt there was some that I went over. You can always find a Portuguese keeper, right? There's certain Portuguese center backs, even if I didn't go over them. If you're going that route, there's no doubt there's some. There's a ton of players in this game. For a starter squad, for what you're willing to use to not just blow your coins, you can find just about anything you're looking for if you know what you're looking for, right? So I'm seeing a good Portuguese trend coming. But Otavio, definitely interesting with that 85 dribbling. He's going to be super sharp on the ball. Speaking of excellent dribbling, the Brazil international in the Saudi League, Malcolm. I absolutely love this card. And what do you notice about the pace? Right? Our first speed demon. I almost had to make sure that wasn't a difference from the face card, but 89 pace, right? You're not going to beat that. You put an engine on him, or you go 100 to maximize it, and he's going to be blown by everybody as a cam, right mid, left mid, or even a CM. 89 pace, 78 shooting, 79 passing, 84 dribbling, so he's fast and smooth. 43 defense, 73 physical, so he's got a little, physical side to him, not way up there, right? I would say 75 and above would be like a good physical starter card. 73, though, just below that. And he still has the ability to hold his own out on the pitch physically, obviously. Dead ball, low-driven, incisive, whip pass, inventive, so he's got the develop pass, rapid and relentless. Guys, note this player down. Cam-wise, playmaker or half-winger, and then inside forward. Again, cam, half-winger. Don't just totally count it out. If you like the 4-2-3-1 wide, even better than the 4-2-3-1 narrow, and you don't like the playmaker cam role for whatever reason for Malcolm, you want more that speed to be used on the outside, 4-2-3-1 narrow, put him at half-winger. See how you like it. Very similar to 4-2-3-1 wide, which I love, a lot of players love. Put inside forward on those wing mids. They cut in from further out. I love those long, deeper diagonal runs they make. That you obviously can manipulate from there how you want to. Player lock or calling them to or sending them on diagonals or straight runs, whatever. Malcolm, ridiculous option. Brazilian, doesn't help your cause of him being, priced fairly. Being in the Saudi League, we're getting close. There's some pretty strong Saudi League players. For the past few years, we've been saying that. Like, the Saudi League is going to become one of the big boy leagues as far as starter players go, especially. And as we go forward, you're going to have full Saudi teams. They're going to be right up there with La Liga and Premier League and all that. But for right now, it's on the cusp, right? But a player like Malcolm, you can make him work without a doubt with that Brazil connection, or go with that Saudi League starter team. Just make sure you don't overpay for any of these players. So even if a player like Malcolm, that speed demon, 89 pace, that's great, right? Pretty good stats elsewhere. The 84 dribbling, that's great. Don't overpay for him or any of these starter players. I can't stress that enough. Another good one in the speed demon, who's definitely, maybe not definitely, probably going to be cheaper. You can note both of these down, though, is Rafa. Right? Very similar there, but 4-star skills, 2-star weak foot instead of 3. Malcolm's 4-star skills, 3-star weak foot. Right? Stands at 5'8". 5'8". He can play shadow striker, half winger, playmaker in the cam role. Left mid, he can play inside forward, striker, false 9. 89 pace, 75 shooting. So not as good as Malcolm there. 78 passing, 85 dribbling, though. So 89 pace, 85 dribbling. So one better than Malk. 48 defense, 55 physical. So very similar. What was Malcolm's height, actually? Let's check that real quick. He was 5'8". Literally. Same exact type of player. Right there. There you go. And if one of these, let's say Malcolm's super high valued, even if it's like, I'm just making this up for argument's sake, 5,000 coins. But you can get Rafa for 3,000. Right? You would take Rafa all day. But then we're going to look at other players that you can get for like 900, 800, and these players are in the thousands, that you're going to look at their stats and go, man, they're a little bit lower value, but not worth thousands of coins at the start of the game when coins are so valuable. So keep that in mind. Right? We already talked about Trincao, but he's one of those players. I know 9 points in pace is quite a difference, but 80 shooting and 84 dribbling instead of 75 shooting or 78. I mean, he's right up there in the same dribbling. Both a bit better shooting. Right there with passing. Right? Same thing, 4-star skills, 2-star weak foot. Let's see, he can play shadow striker and all that, right? Right mid, wide playmaker, which is another role that wasn't as popular in FC25. Could very well be popular in 26. You stay out wide and look to spark plays from out there. Can always cut in with the ball or look for passes. Could easily be a good play style plus to have in 26. So even a player like Trincao, I'm taking over Malcolm and Rafa if they're overpriced, and with the speed decrease, that 89 pace could make them overpriced. Moving on here, there you go right here. Perfect player to note down. Do not forget this. Fudala, German international, Bayer Leverkusen. There's some good Bayer Leverkusen starter players out there. One that's probably going to be overpriced, but man, if he's not, you can get him, and he's right on that cusp too. He's actually going to be pretty solid for a while, but Hincapié. We already went over the center backs. He can even actually play left back, but I keep him at center back for a starter team with his ability to be shifty, stay with those attackers, still have that physical side, but also be able to move some. Very good center back. With that Ecuador nationality, maybe he's affordable. Don't get your hopes up, but you could connect with a player like that. Fudala, also plenty of Germans out there that you could, definitely get her on Kim with. But you look at that, 85 pace, 84 shooting, 74 passing, 79 dribbling, 55 defense, 71 physical. So a little bit lower in the the dribbling department than we typically like, and the passing department. But let's see if she can play shadow striker. No, only playmaker. That's fine. Put a catalyst on her. She already has good enough shooting, right? If she had a shadow striker, you put a hunter on her, she becomes a second forward. The 3-3 is not as good, but you can make it work for a starter card. And remember, with the lower dribbling, she's 5'1". She's 5'1". Her dribbling's still going to be good, just naturally. She's lower, more compact. Definitely an excellent starter card to look at that's almost certainly going to be affordable. Look at this, right next to her. A good Bayer Leverkusen option, and he's American born, so maybe you go with the American league / other league American women players, because the women, not only did I tell you they're going to be OP this year, especially the smaller, stronger ones that have the benefit of both the physical dribbling and stuff, as well as that sharper left stick, sharper cuts, right? Everything sharper, quicker. Those smaller players that are also physical, because women, it's relative to men. If you have a 90 physical, I'm just making this up, 90 physical rated Holland, who's just a towering monster, and let's just make up that 5'1" Fudala, also had 90 physical, 90 strength, let's say in particular. When her and Holland battle in game, they're going to be equal strength-wise. Crazy to look at, but for how they had to translate it to make it fit, I get it. The only thing is Holland would smoke her in the air, in the aerial battle, because you can't make up for that height. But nonetheless, right, these women's players, you connect there with Bayer Leverkusen, you get some Americans in there. There's no doubt there's some Americans, too, that can play in the women's German league that could help you get Fudala boosted and Kim. And there you go. You got an extremely affordable starter team. Because Tillman's another good option. So we'll look into him deeper. The American, that's what's going to make people not buy him as much. That's not as popular unless they go with the women's team, right? Even Bayer Leverkusen, like Bundesliga is one of the top leagues, but it's not like you're looking at probably Premier League, then La Liga for sure. Then it might be third. That's a it could be Liga 1, it could be Bundesliga, even Serie A. They're all kind of right there, but there's plenty of Premier League and La Liga players. The players are going to be going for. Can play playmaker, shadow striker, half winger, left wing. Can play wide playmaker. CM, he can play playmaker. So very interesting. More positions, but still kind of random. I don't know if it's... I would love to hear their reasoning behind how they chose all these. It's more, but it's like they picked them out of a hat. 84 pace, 76 shooting, 77 passing, 83 dribbling, 65 defense, 77 physical. And by the way, maybe there's like some games where this player at least played that position once. I could be totally wrong about the guessing out of a hat, but it is what it is. It's still less limiting. And those are very interesting stats, right? So a 6'2" potential cam or left winger. So if you want to go for that more big and powerful route, Tillman's your guy, right? Speedy player, especially for a big man. He's going to be flying down the side. If you go with like a catalyst, he goes to around 92 pace, gets his passing into the 80s. If you go with Hunter, he gets his shooting into the 80s with 92 pace. Already good physical, right? Not great, but really good. And he's a specimen at 6'2". So definitely keep Tillman on your list if you like big guys. If you don't like those bigger players in certain positions like winger or cam, then don't put them on your list. Simple as that. All right, we're going to continue forward here. Rogers, definitely worth looking into. The 77 pace, 77 shooting, 79 passing, 84 dribbling, right? Cam, you can play right mid, left mid, center mid. I see a lot of times they're just adding center mid in there. And I'm assuming that's because of the box crasher role. Unless that's only for CDM, I got to look into that. Well, let's see here. I'm not seeing box crasher anywhere. So I don't know. I could be totally wrong with that. It wouldn't make sense if they don't have the role or the role plus. Or wait, box crasher is a focus, not a role, if I'm not mistaken. So let's think about this. So you have box to box, which is a role. Like this player could easily be CM box to box. And I believe box crasher could be on here as a role or role plus. Right? Then the focus is like defense, balance, attack. And so that's where I was getting mixed up with focus. But without a doubt, Rogers, player like Rogers, you want on your list of potential starter players. Not because, he has the potential to be overpriced in England and Premier League. But there's a chance that he won't be just because of those bit lower. He has a bit lower stats, and there's so many other players in this position. So just because they're Premier League, don't just totally write them off, right? You've seen in other positions, I've went over them. A player like Zoboslai, don't even look at. Just for the namesake and then a little bit higher, 83 rating, players are going to sink coins into him. Nobody's going that crazy over Rodgers. He could just by nature of, okay, 84 dribbling, yes, that stat stands out. England, Premier League, boom, overpriced. But he also could easily be just players don't just quite get to looking that low for him. And in that case, you might be able to pick him up. He's worth noting down, and then you can grab him if he's not overpriced. Simple as that. Continuing up the line, obviously there's another American, but she's from the American League, which is fine. The Women's League in the United States. Plenty of good players from around the world, women's players in the United States. Absolutely a good idea for a starter team because they're just not as popular as the men's leagues. 4-3 skills to weak foot, right? She's a righty. She can play cam, CDM, and CM. Obviously, CDM-wise, not the best of defense. But 75 pace, 76 shooting, 81 passing, 84 dribbling. So does she have playmaker? Yeah, I put her as a cam playmaker. Yeah, cam playmaker for sure. She can play shadow striker. I wouldn't put her there. She can play deep line playmaker, but at only 81 passing and 65 defense, I probably wouldn't do that. 73 physical is not too bad. She stands at 5'4", so definitely worth putting on your starter squad list to either note down for potential starter team or potential investment. Now, when I say investment, real quick, I said this in other videos, but just to bring it up, you don't have to clear your coins and invest in one player to flip them. You could maybe buy 2 Rodgers on day 1 or day 2 and see if day 3 or day 4 you can earn a couple hundred coins on each of them. But if you lose, it won't be the end of the world. Maybe you get a player like he's 500 and you're like, oh, he'll easily go to 700. There you go. Player like Gibbs White, I passed him up, but I didn't pass Rodgers. Why? No reason. I shouldn't have. Looked, they're the exact same player. But you're going to have that too. I wanted to point that out. 4-4, so the weak foot's different there. So you definitely like Rodgers better. But maybe Rodgers, because of that 4-4, is just a little overpriced and Gibbs White's perfect. Right? A little less pace at 75. Same shooting. Passing Gibbs White's actually better. Same dribbling. Like lower physical, Rodgers is better physical. What's Rodgers? 6'2", so a huge physical specimen. Gibbs White, 5'10", right? He can play just shadow striker, and Rodgers can play playmaker. He doesn't have shadow striker. So worth putting both of these players down, but you're going to have situations like that. If you're noting these players down and you're like, oh, let's say I didn't just notice Gibbs White. Oh, didn't have Gibbs White from OG's video. Can't get him. No. You can see these stats and kind of get the general consensus of what I'm looking at. And that's the whole goal of this. To paint a picture for you and to help you out. That's why I put so much content out that covers all these different things that I know aren't going to blow up in views, that don't have the clickbait titles that are there, because all these different areas are different areas people need help in. Some have better grasps of certain areas and they don't need certain videos. Others don't. So hopefully this can teach you, and that's the goal. And why do I do this? Because I did this for several years where I was looking for content creators to help me learn, right? Not to just say, here, use DiBernardo, Rodgers, Gibbs, have a good day. Come back tomorrow for use this. No. What are you looking at? What is making you pick these players? So for the defensive side, you've seen me go in depth a bit, but sort of just show you the overview in picking players. Now you're seeing the actual more deep diving type of process. Pedro Goncalves, another good one. 83 passing, 84 dribbling, 77 pace, 82 shooting. Definitely worth it for Cam to look into, right? I mean, there's a ton of players. I went over Rabiot for more the defensive role, right? CM. And it looks like he actually cannot play CDM, which I did include him in. I included him at CM. Maybe I did, by mistake, include him in CDM. If so, guess what? He can't play CDM. I don't think I did, though. I like him as more of a deep line playmaker, but my point was it's 77 defense. If he did have CDM, you could put him as a number 6. He's that versatile. But then you look at the 79 shooting, 81 passing, 80 dribbling, 84 physical is great, 6'3", so he's a big presence in there, 81 pace. I mean, you could put Hunter on him, Shadow on him, take him any which way. Yes, he's 3'3", but you can make it work. I'd put him on the left side. He can play playmaker as a cam, which could absolutely work. You don't want him as shadow striker, but his bread and butter would be CM box to box. If you can grab Rabiot for a good price and put him as a box to box, he will absolutely cook for you. As long as your tactics, and your formation you're using fits for a box to box, Rabiot can cook for you without a doubt. And very well could be overpriced with that French nationality, but then even Ligue 1 to boot. Because if you didn't notice, there's a lot of good French players at all the different levels. It just is what it is. France is that nation the past several years in FC, right? So moving on from Rabio, Kirby, absolute beast. That was downgraded. She was 84 last year. So that's better looking. England International, but the women's Premier League, if you will. Right? Not the most popular team. So definitely put her on your radar. Like, for instance, Kirby going from an 84 to an 83 and not playing for a big popular club like Chelsea could help her. The England, compared to the U.S., favors Katarina for not being like spotlighted and overpriced because of it. But both of these players just beasts. I mean, we went over Katarina already. You see the similarities there. 86 dribbling, 86 dribbling. Just ridiculous. Katarina better passing, equal shooting. Kirby one better pace. 4-3, 4-4 for Kirby's got the better weak foot. So beast, both of these. Kirby, Katarina, keep them on the lookout. Would be excellent additions, right? So we talked about Katarina can play playmaker and half winger. We talked about maybe doing 4-2-3-1 narrow and using half winger to like do a faux pas 4-2-3-1 wide, or a faux 4-2-3-1 narrow, if you will. And then let's see, Kirby, playmaker plus, right? Maybe that will get overlooked, but that's a huge increase right there. Any boost is going to be helpful for these starter cards. So somehow you can get Kirby for a steal. 4-4 with the plus playmaker. Excellent stats. 5-2. I mean, come on, man. She's going to be great. Especially with this dribbling. It's going to be good luck trying to take the ball off her. Easy, a little lower pace there, but excellent dribbling. Shooting in passing. At Cam, without a doubt, I'd go for easy. He's almost certainly going to be overpriced with that elite level of dribbling. You put him at, although shadow striker and left inside forward, I'd want him as more of a playmaker. And I'd put a catalyst on him. Just because that lower pace. Why am I saying this? Because running from deep like that, one of the bonuses is many times you can run unmarked. But when you're that slow as molasses, it's almost like you're running in slow-mo speed and the opponent can miss you one or two times and all of a sudden go, oh, hey, you got to go cover him and then get over and fix their mistake. Whereas if you're blitzing through those holes, just slicing through those deep runs, you're going to find yourself open a lot more. But I think easy is going to be overpaced nonetheless with that elite level dribbling. We will see. Some players will just go crazy with it and put like an engine on him or something. And just try to make his passing, his dribbling just absurd. For a starter card, right? Mateus Cunha, obviously popular. He's going to be overpriced with that 85 shooting, 84 dribbling. Don't even look at him. Don't even look his way. Same with Zoboslai. They're the same way. Isco too slow. Don't look in his direction. Senset, I talked about him as a CM already. As more of a box-to-box. Can he play? Nope. So shadow striker. But he has a plus as a shadow striker. Putting 100 on him with 85 dribbling. He has a defensive. Doesn't entice me as much as a shadow striker, even with the plus. I mean, yeah, you can put 100 on him, and he goes to around 84 pace. He's got that physical side, right? A 6'2 beast. So you could definitely make him work. Just not my typical cup of tea. I would have liked to see box-to-box. With the passing there, elite dribbling so he can get out of trouble, decent enough defense to be a deep lying playmaker or a box-to-box, right? Oh, no, deep lying, he doesn't have CDM. A box-to-box. And I'm just drawing a blank here. If you can do deep lying playmaker outside of CDM and CM as well, which I thought it was only for CDM, if you can, I apologize. If you can, though, he could have been great with that too. He just doesn't have the role. And Simons, another beast. So you look here, another elite dribbling player, 87. He's a no-name. He's been a beast lately. Netherlands, so country-wise good. Bundesliga, not the most popular, but popular enough. Red Bull. Pace and shooting, never been the highest, but 80 passing is good enough in that 87 dribbling. right? Similar to Easy, except Simons is 84 rated, right? And he's got 3-star weak foot, 4-star skills though, but he's just dynamite on the ball. Cam, left mid striker, playmaker without a doubt. Shadow striker plus plus, Cam, playmaker but only plus. I would think for Simons, for Xavi Simons, however you pronounce it, he'd have the playmaker plus plus, but it's the shadow striker. Either way, though, he could also play left mid inside forward, worth looking at, but most likely going to be overpriced just because he's more of a popular name. Not the most popular, but popular enough. And then you got Manum right here. 72 pace, but 82 shooting, 83 passing, 83 dribbling, 72 defense. Cam or striker 3-3. Nope. Even if she had playmaker there. Maybe if she had playmaker there. But without playmaker, not a chance at shadow striker or half winger with that low of pace. So there you have it. Plenty of starter cards. All different leagues, all different teams, all different nationalities. Find your strategy, stick with it, put together a sick starter squad that's not overpriced. Let every other sucker sink their coins in and lose a ton while you keep gaining coins just because you're smart. And then watch in disbelief as this other player who sunk all their coins into their mid-level gold players that are going to lose value in a day, a couple days, a week even, while you outplay them with your as cheap as it gets players. They're just a few stats behind anyway. When you really break it down for these starter cards, it's just a few stats, but that's where the keen eye comes in. That's where the ability to get ahead off the pitch, making right decisions. That's where it comes in. It's a skill. So, if you have any questions, this will become a video, or you can leave them under the comment in the stream side of things. I'm always going to look to get back to you guys. I want your feedback. I want to answer your questions. Make sure if you need extra help and you can afford a couple bucks a month, check out my Discord. $2.99 a month, you can get all the help you could think of with stuff like we're going over now, with what players to look out for on SBCs, evolutions, selling players before they crash, the best tactics to use, updates in meta, whatever you can think of. It's all the help you can get from the community so we all push ourselves to reach our full potential. If it's something you're interested in, the link is in the YouTube bio. There's also, if you want to support the channel, YouTube memberships where you do get early content, like early, as a perk in return for your support. So thank you so much, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Guys who are on here, do not leave yet. Hopefully I got you before you rolled. I want to talk to you guys more. What up, Phil? Bought those memberships so people can really... Oh, nice, bro. Let me see what you did here. Remember, I'm on, just so everyone knows, a quick thing. I'm on OBS. Love it for multi-streaming and everything. The downside is I'm not on the actual sites. And the issue is I can't see. So let me get into YouTube. Let me get into YouTube and catch up here. And see what Big Phil's talking about. Gotta skip this ad, of course. What the heck? Just took my ability to get into the... What did it just do to me? Hold on. There it is. There's a chat. Oh, wow. Thank you, Phil. You're the man. That was you, huh? That's awesome, guys. So sorry. So the way I was doing it, I was knees deep into the player breakdowns. So shout out to Phil for gifting the memberships. Hopefully you guys know how big of a deal that is, because we're going deep this year into helping everyone on everything I just talked about. So I look forward to working with you guys. Renegade Kami, it's actually a perfect example. So that is one of the worst mistakes players make for starter teams. Here's why. Arsenal's a popular team. Premier League's a popular league. Players are going to go in and sink a ton of coins into these low-rated players. It's almost like sinking money into a car that depreciates the minute you leave the lot. Those players, every day as the higher value players come out, those starter cards are going to lose value. Once Team of the Week's promos, unless you're saying over the year. If you're saying over the year, if you're talking a starter team, don't just go, gotta get every Arsenal, because a lot of those Arsenal players are going to be way over exaggerated. Everyone's going to buy them, and they're just going to crash as better players are packed, and you're going to get caught losing coins. You want to go with the less known players for your starter team. So, over the year, perfect. I would say, just as a rule of thumb, at the beginning, look at a lot of the players I pointed out, or players like that. We want to go for the less popular players at the start. It's the key to saving our coins while everyone else blows them. That's why I'm pointing these starter squad options out and showing you the different ones that could slip through the cracks with the top leagues and be affordable. Maybe, maybe not. But then you have the sure shot, will be affordable cards. You can bank on them to help you succeed on the pitch while saving your coins, so you never have to worry about waking up one day and everybody crashed, and now you're stuck with this full squad of gold cards that are going to give you nothing in return when you sell them, and they're quickly behind the power curve, and now you're chasing the game. You get what I'm saying? You're behind instead of in front. It's always good with off the pitch stuff to be ahead of the game, right? To make sure you're putting that top team on the pitch. No stress off the pitch. Tons of coins. Tons of fodder. And that's what this Discord is going to help all of you with, right? It's going to be awesome. When the game drops, it'll just be a few to start. They don't go crazy. I think you get you get an extra slot if you pre-ordered the Ultimate Edition. Probably will give you a surprise one there. But they are going to do a lot of Evos. I know Evos, everyone loves them. It's going to be a slower cook to higher rated cards, but I think they're doing the same amount of promos. On one side I heard less promos. On the other I heard same amount of promos, but less, like 93, 94, 95 rated. It's more like this player can play, on the opposite winger now. This player, even though they opened up the positions more, this player now has these play styles and play style pluses instead. Like, stuff like that, so the overall doesn't skyrocket and your player isn't in and out of your team within a few days because the power curve's already changing. Like, you want to invest in your players, invest in your team, get used to using players in a certain way, really enjoy using a team and the players, and so that's going to be nice. Yeah, exactly, Renegade. They made a lot of improvements. They took such a hit financially. The difference that they did, better than Strikers, better than Konami, is they actually saw we're hurting. Players are hating the game. They're not. It's hurting our pockets. Let's listen to them finally. And then they have the money in the machine to make the changes. UFL looks like it ended up being a scam job to me, but let's just say at the very beginning when they're like, we're going to be so communicative with you guys and it's going to be great. Maybe they really did try and they just failed. Now they're getting bombarded so much they had to back off. Or maybe it was a scam and a lie all along. They communicated real well day one, day two. Then once the real questions came, they disappeared. Turned into EA Sports. Whereas EA Sports, they ignored us, but it's because their money, their pockets weren't hurting, so they didn't give a shit. Once their pockets hurt, they magically removed everything. Dude, I've never seen it. This is unprecedented. Everything in FC26 based on the beta, which, by the way, betas never get worse, guys. If anything, they're too close to the previous year's game, and it's a bummer. And there's a little tweak at the final, but they're never going to get worse. So playing the beta, not being able to put the controller down, seeing that every wrap maneuver that was used is now removed, it is the best feeling you could think of. You're playing this trash FC25, and if you don't know any better, you're going to play FC25 and go, dude, you're an idiot. This game sucks, and the 26 ain't going to be better by much. But it's a whole different ball game. EA Sports cooked, guys. I mean, they learned from a 5-star Michelin, 5-star, whatever you call it, chef, and then cooked the shit out of something good for FC26. Mark my words. I have no idea, Renegade. I could care less. That's dead to me. I'm FC right now, and that's all. Every once in a while, I'll dip my head in, but I'm just being honest. Like, you know. And a thousand prayers your way. If anybody coming from the UFL side can tell me what the hell happened to Dagger. Dude, the dude just disappeared. All of his videos are gone. What happened to the dude? It's a murder mystery. I think I might call 48 Hours or Dateline. What happened to old Dagger? UFL crashed. He found out they were going under and just ran away from his fans? Or his channel, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, shout out again to Phil for all the gifted subs. Hopefully these videos are helpful because promise you, if you note these players down, you check them out, you get anybody that's a steal value-wise, you're going to be good to go. And then as you learn the market better, you can even grab a couple of these players you keep on your radar that you find for snipe deals, lower price, and flip them up. One of the benefits of pre-ordering is you can start stacking a few of these players. The full release comes out, you put them for sale, and some poor sucker is going to spend his FC points right away getting your Zoboslai or your whoever. So never keep them longer than that, though. It's got to be within the first week. I said week earlier. I would move it to like 10 days. Because no doubt those lower level starter squad players for the first 10 days are going to hold their value or even raise. Because you got the Ultimate Edition players, then you got the influx of full release players, and they're still going to be going crazy. I would even almost do 9 days. Give them 2 days to hype up and overpay for all these players, and you can make a ton of coins. So if you can get set up like that early, with the early access, you're golden. Alright, so I just wanted to make sure, again, shout out to Phil. Looks like Frederick got a gifted. Who else got a gifted? Oh, guys, hold on. See the gifted membership. I have to see how this works because I don't think Discord's the MVP. MVP membership. I'm going to have to look at exactly which membership because the Discord automatically connects with MVP, which is what Phil is with the coaching. The Discord for $2.99 a month ties in separately. Don't ask me why. It's how they did it. By they, I mean YouTube and Discord, the way it ties in together. Make sure you guys, if you even can, become members of my Discord, and if you do, tie in your YouTube account. If not, you are going to start 100% getting content way early. I already got like 2 or 3 videos. It's about to be 4, even though if you're on stream, you saw this one. But the other ones you didn't see yet. And if you ask the other members, I get content early. Like, you'll get a ton of stuff early, days, weeks. So you guys are either way in for a good run, but don't get your hopes up for Discord. I think this membership is the base level, not the MVP. I'll double check though. But the Discord is just $2.99 a month. If it doesn't cover that, you go to Discord, and that's where you have to sign in through them. Dumbest thing ever. Don't ask me why. Only the MVP that with the coaching is the one where it ties in. With that being said, you guys are awesome. Love the support. If you guys can't afford to put money in, it's not the end of the world. It's literally just anytime people support the channel, I like to give them, in return, I want to give them a ton, like double the perks in. So for $3 a month to get 24/7 access to all the help you can imagine, any questions anytime for the game, I feel like that's worth it. For $2.99 a month, giving video after video, days and days early, answering every question first, seeing those players or those members on the chats and stuff, which is going to start going crazy once season starts, if you will. We're kind of in off season. I feel like that's worth its weight in gold. Same with the coaching, same with everything. And it all just comes down to me wanting to give you guys the best value. That's why I release daily content with all the different areas of help. I know some of them are going to get bad views because not everyone needs it. But a lot of you guys come from starting it with me at UFL or even from eFootball, or have taken some years off FC, or never played at a high level that you aspire to get to, or never really had the help to get to that next level. And that's what I'm aiming to do. So I want to make that clear. Thanks for staying tuned for the list. You guys are the best. Enjoy the rest of your night. Who knows when I'll be on. The gameplay has been so bad lately. I'm debating if I even want to try a game right now. It has been literally so terrible. Let's try one game just for the culture. Just for the culture. But I'm literally just about done with playing FC25 because if you don't know, if you're waiting for FC26 and you don't have FC25, you're lucky. I'm talking the worst gameplay imaginable. They fixed it for FC26. They explain what went wrong. If you do have it and you don't know, or you're not aware, like the cheaters, the lag spiking that goes on, where you're lagging like crazy and they're not, there's a good explanation here. Let me get to it real quick for you guys. So if you go to my X account, definitely follow me here, subscribe here. I link a lot of stuff. I'm on TikTok as well. Got some good goals. I do have Hullet, R9, R7. I mean, the team's crazy good, but that's how bad the gameplay is that it's still, like, literally almost not worth it. Go to EA Sports FC Direct Communication if you have X, which it shows they only wanted players who know about this issue to see that it's fixed. The players who didn't, they wanted to keep them in the dark. That's just a little shady move. But that's why it's not on their main channel. A lot of people don't even know about this EA Sports Direct Communication channel, right? A lot of people don't know. I like that picture, by the way. But anyways, one sec. You scroll down here, this video right here. This year, there's a lot of improvements we're doing to make sure the game is more responsive than ever. We know gameplay responsiveness, aka like command delay, lag, all that, has been a frustration and we're working on it. Hear directly from our gameplay developers on how FC26 is tackling these issues. It's actually a great video. They do a great job explaining in layman's terms, and believe it or not, it makes sense and it looks like, okay, we're in good shape. And it probably helps that I played the beta and got to put their words to the test some as well, just so you guys are aware. So if you play the game, if you did have FC25 and you know what I'm talking about with the delay, your menus are crashing. I don't know if Kioma's in here, but Kioma had that issue. That's gone, without a doubt. So let's see if we can get some good gameplay just for like a game, man. Is that too much to ask for? Waiting for the game to load up here. Minimize this. Oh, and this, by the way, you can see the link up there. It's radarfc.com/players on X. If you go to X, follow Radar FC along with Foot Police Leaks, Foot Sheriff. I always talk about this in every video. You got to have your leak sites. You can check out my old videos, not even old, just other videos that I've done that explain what these leaks help you with. Just check them each day, right? And you can see different stuff. If you scroll here, you have this Radar FC created that awesome player base database. He took a long time, but he did a great job. You literally click in here, and you can follow this link to Radar FC and see all the players. Man, that looks so good. I love the card designs. I love seeing old R9 and Ronaldinho in their regular form, knowing where they go from here. These are their prime cards, by the way. The icon you get if you pre-ordered the Ultimate Edition before the 26th will be their base versions, actually. But nonetheless, some beast cards, and then when they get to these primes, whoever packs them early on is just going to be... Don't count on it, though. It's like hitting the lottery. But you never know. You never know. And look, you even got Salah and who is that? Alexia Putellas. Alexia Putellas up there with the icons with their ratings. Pretty sick. I can't wait. I'm getting Oliver Kahn one time or another. I would typically be pissed if I packed him for the beginning of the year out of my 1 out of 15 icons from pre-ordering. But if I get cons like 85, 86 that later on turns to the full, prime version, oh, dude, I'll flip. He'll turn into this 91 version. But yeah, you get these leaks and you can scroll through and you have all types of information coming, guys. I mean, these leak sites help you a ton. Top 25 Premier League players, top Atletico Madrid players, top 25 Bundesliga. All right. None of these cards are you going to be able to necessarily afford right away, but you can see the best cards in each. Look at the downgrade in Harry Kane, by the way. Can I zoom into this? Let's see. Man, I can't zoom in. But Harry Kane's 89, 64 pace. He does have 92 shooting, 82 dribbling, 83 passing. Like, if you get him at the very, very start, you could probably make that 64 pace work as a striker because he's a ridiculous finisher. Like his cards later on in FC were good once his pace was ridiculous. But at the beginning, after so many goal contributions, unless they just made his physical dribbling so sick he can turtle his way down the pitch and still do good, he got robbed. 60 goal contributions. He should be 92 rated, 91 at least. Especially knowing Haaland is. I mean, when Haaland had a great season, he was rewarded. And the Bundesliga is a tough league to do that in. So that was highway robbery. But definitely check into Radar FC and stuff like that. Foot Sheriff, Foot Police. They're on Facebook, X, whatever social media you have. So you see the coins I've won. I did in the last season pass fat fingered and make a mistake and bought the season pass last time, so I'd have 6,100. I'll have 6,000 coins from our FC points. Sorry, the green up top for those who aren't familiar with EAFC. I'll have 6,000 from them. But what they're doing is it's 2,000 right away, 2,000 like at full release, I think it is. And then 2,000 at the end of September 2,000. Then the last 2,000 comes at the end of October. So they spread your 6,000 points that they give you out a little. So at full release time, I'll have around 9,000 FC points. Plenty to do some damage and hit the ground running. All right, let's get right into rivals. This is the squad. So hard to pick from my front four. Hullet's not going anywhere, though. He makes ridiculous runs. He's so broken and good. R7's good, but he's so clunky with the gameplay, unfortunately. Same with Bale. So good, but clunky. Messi's good, but just not as explosive. Pirlo's insane passing, but again, had to go for the smaller female players mainly. Beckenbauer 5'11", so he works. But that's how bad the game is, guys. That's how unresponsive it is. But let's see if these guys can cook. Mbappe's broken. R9's pretty broken. Can feel sort of clunky at times. Because I'm talking gameplay terrible. So let's see, just to get our daily games out of the way. It's only like 1 or 2 games that you have to play. But it is a shame because it would be amazing using these specimens, these lab-made specimens of players. This is what I need. Everything you need. Oh, let's see what we got here. Everything you need. Moment of truth. Not so bad so far. Oh, nice try on that run. I love those sneaky balls. Shouldn't have really forced it, but I wanted to see. Oh, of course. Good. Ha ha ha! Good, Yamal. Oh, late. Late on the reaction there. See, what the hell was that? Did he just go through me? He just dribbled through me as a defender. That was crazy. They got rid of that crap in FC26, by the way. Oh, get around her. Great run, but don't stop when you get to her. Truck through that. Beautiful ball. What a goal. What a goal. Manuel goal. In a world full of AI bots, the manualness is beautiful to see. Not necessarily the prettiest, but it was a manual move, manual run. Good D. Manual with Beckenbauer. What the hell? Gave my player room to work. That was supposed to be in the air, though. Not gonna lie. Good. Keep. Whoa! The delay there sucked. Keeper took 6 hours on that one, didn't she? Good. Good. Yep. Oh my God. There we go. Ronaldo, get that into the corner, baby. That's why you got to practice that precision shooting. 2-zip. 2-zippo. Ping Pong FC is what FC25 is. And so you know, this ping pong shit with the tacklebacks and all that stuff is gone. They got rid of it. It's so much more smooth and rewarding. Oh, what the hell? She just ran right by her. That was goofy. What's up with the... No! What's up with these players running right by the attackers? It's kind of goofy, ain't it? Look at that run. Oh, no! Earlier. No delay. Dude, see, what the fuck, Ronaldo? Too slow. That little delay kills the game, guys. That little 2 second, the little lethargic shit, it kills you from, like, doing the sharp movements. You know, it allows the opponent to, like, react, and they shouldn't be able to. Like, what was that right there? That ping pong, he literally just dribbled into me and got rewarded. That was the silliest thing I've ever seen. You're in. Great ball. What? Oh my goodness, guys. That was dumb of him too. Some of the crazy shit that happens in this is so comical. See, even that reaching the foot out by Hullet, players don't do that. Like, I wish every player had the AI movement and stuff, because you still should have to make the tackles and stuff. I'm all for that. It's a skill game. It should be. But, no, that was supposed to go to the winger. It worked out, but... And then that was supposed to go to Hullet. God damn it. More accuracy, guys. Notice how I'm fucking guessing. I'm defending perfectly here. Thank you. And I'm not getting rewarded on a lot of that stuff. Good ball. Boom. No way he missed that. Naldi. I mean, that was my aim, so... That's the beauty of this, is it's your own fault when you miss those. That was my aim that fucked that up. Come on, 3-0 is a huge difference. If I can get that second goal. And see, just like that, 2-1. After this, just destroying this player, it's now 2-1. Because of some dog shit gameplay. Where I steal the ball, instead of me getting it, my defender runs by him. Come on. Dude, the terrible, terrible balls are killing me. That should have went way further out wide. This could be easily 3 or 4-0. I think he's got one shot on goal. That was his first shot. His or her first shot. That's why the game's such a joke. FC26, nothing like this. Does it really matter? No. Just... Even really the practice on this doesn't help you as much. It's just kind of keeping your... I don't know, reaction time up. But the game's so different. Practicing in this, I told Phil the same thing, isn't what it used to be. It's actually a good thing that it's not, though. We don't want this to be like the new game, and it's not. Look at the slow motion in the shooting, the delays. Look at that. It's just delay. It's just delay. That's all it is. I should just hold it and not even let him... So ridiculous. I tackled there. So you guys seen the difference there. I tackle there, and nothing comes from it because of the delay. Offsides by a mile. Look at this. What the fuck is going on? Yeah, once players play like this, then I don't care about... Look at that. Look at that, guys. Look at this dumb shit. Stole the ball. Instead get punished. Delayed passing. And then boom, there's this. I can't stand the game, guys. When you're delayed, you're just so screwed. It's not even funny. You ain't beating Hullet. Oh, tacklebacks, of course. And now it's 2-2. Just like that, guys. Welcome to FC. Welcome to the world of FC. It's just unbelievable. The delay. Look at this shit. I win the ball, and then I get punished from it. Fucking joke. These losers that play like this, though, bro. These losers that play like this, they're almost just as bad. None of this is going to work in FC26. None of this is going to work in FC26. So what are you doing? You're not enjoying football goal. Ha ha! How do you not mark that? I'm playing a low level player. That's the easiest, guys. You can mark those easily. If you don't, they're automatic goals. So thanks, dumbass. Keep going for your tacklebacks, though. As you can see, I'm uber competitive. And if you're my... now you see why I don't play like... Oh my god, another fucking tackleback. Here you go, tackle back this, bitch. And I don't even think they're like meaning to necessarily. There's some players that are, without a doubt. It's a joke. It's a joke. You're in. You can't do those L1 speed boosts either. I'm literally doing that because of the circumstance of the game. What the fuck? Oh my god. What a tackle. How do you guys like those? That's what I love, is stuff like that where you have to use skill to do a good job. When you have to make plays, rewarding football plays. Come on. Come on, Holy. Oh my god. I read it like a book. It's just so much. Whoa. Boom. Goal. You're welcome. Thanks for coming. See ya. Manual, boys. Manual. Skill, skill, skill. Optify yoga. Okay, hell yeah. My Discord's a premium one, though, bro. It's $2.99 a month, so just to let you know. But we do something unprecedented. JKL, we help with everything. We're pretty much a football club. It's literally OGFC. It's literally all of us 24/7 helping each other. Which players to buy, what are the best tactics, when to sell players, helping each other not lose coins, helping each other maximize, knowing which SBCs to do, which evolutions, hidden gems of players to do for evolutions. Like $3 a month to get all that help is worth it. So if you guys are interested in joining the club, it's $3 a month to support the channel, and you get all that connection. Anytime you need a co-op teammate, because they're having co-op events and cups this year, and a lot of people have to go with their crappy random teammates. Now you'll have a buddy, a teammate to play with at all times. The dude's just so much help. So yeah, $2.99 a month for that. But OGamester FC on Discord. We also have YouTube memberships where you get all the content early, and a lot of people love that. Like right now, there's literally 3 videos everyone else can't see on for YouTube members. What up? Kick off. Shout out to Phil though too for gifting those memberships. I wish Discord and YouTube integrated better, because the way I had to do it for the MVP for my coaching tier membership, I had to manually add my boy Phil, and then Owen I had to manually add. the MVPs, and I have to check which membership level he gifted, but either way, there's good perks for you, and Phil's the man for doing that either way. But if you weren't lucky enough to get gifted a sub or it wasn't Discord, don't worry, check it out. It's going to be awesome. Everything's pretty much laid out. You can see exactly how it's going to go, the daily checklist, the weekly. I can't wait. I can't wait to get in there, say me and Phil and Kickoff are working, and we're like, all right, I've been having success in this 4-4-2, and Phil's like, bro, I've been using the 4-2-3-1 wide, and it's been crushing. And then Kickoff's like, dude, I've been using the 4-2-3-1 narrow, and we're like, man, so what's making it good? Oh, well, this, and then we go, wait a second. What if we use the 4-2-3-1 narrow, but you said those wide cams are good. What if we put them as half wingers, and you get the best of both worlds in the 4-2-3-1 narrow and the 4-2-3-1 wide? Oh, for sure. And we have to go after, Valti to be CDM, dude. She's an absolute beast, the women's Arsenal player, and she's cheap right now. Oh, you're right, dude. Let's all get her. And we're working together, and it's like, dude, the Real Madrid third kit just came out. It's selling like crazy. Get it before it goes out. It's going to sell for $5,000 soon. Everyone picks it up for $4,000, $3,000. Next thing you know, you sell 5 of those later, and you pick up $10,000 in coins, all because you went on to Discord and someone gave you a tip that you otherwise wouldn't have known. You have a question at 2 a.m., someone's there to answer. You have a question at 2 p.m., someone there. It's just like, the idea for me was all of us working together in this amazing like Discord setup that we had, which we were always shooting the shit talking. But I also have aspirations of money tournaments, of doing charity tournaments where like we all buy in and we put money there, like certain stuff, money putting, what do they say? You got to spend money to make money, or make money to invest money to grow things. Like the $3 a month goes into growing the channel to more. So I think as I grow in numbers and as the trust grows, because putting money into anything, there's got to be trust there, right? As the success continues forward, more people will go. But that idea, that's the niche that I feel like this whole FC community is missing. That's why I think the community is so toxic overall, is because it became not about football. It became about must win, must get rewards, must win. I don't even like this game, but I must get my rewards. I feel like that's what it came. And so then it's like, I'm not letting you win. I must win. You took the chance for me to get rewards. And they message you like, please give me a win. And you're like, bro, I'm trying to actually play the game. I need to win too. Like, why would I play if I'm just going to like lose on purpose because you need a win? And then they get mad and then they're toxic, right? It's like, bro, if we all just played the game and played football and didn't take advantage of anything broken and didn't, eFootball needs to hear this too. Those idiots who took advantage and put a formation in that crashed their opponent out to get a free win. What's the point? You're crashing your opponent, which means you're not even playing the game. So you're turning on a game to waste your time to what? To watch an opponent crash out, and then a little AI screen comes up and says, ooh, you won. You didn't win shit. It's a joke. So we perform in the opposite of that bullshit. And it's going to be fun regardless. This community is already awesome, but the Discord just takes it up a notch. All right, did I complete my daily objectives? I did. Daily objectives, score goals, play 1. Got it. Easy win there. But you can see how frustrating it can get. I mean, look how easily I'm dominating. That's a 5-6-0 game. Instead, end of the first half, opponent gets the tackle back, scores. Second one, I win the ball off of a corner kick. They tackle back me. She scores and ties. I have to win off of a fucking... Well, no, I got a bicycle kicked in. I did get a manual run Ronaldo goal. So my first goal with Ronaldo was a manual stop and stop and push to the middle, so that was good. So I got 3 out of 4 manual goals, but for a while there, I mean, the opponent was able to come back and tie it up on 2 skillless bullshit goals. That happens all the time. But a lot of times you're not able to win or score because you're so delayed. It's a joke, which thank God it's gone for FC26. Can somebody tell me what Sofyan Lanyani, KWA FIFA, what does that mean? Kill with all FIFA? What does KWA FIFA mean, guys? Somebody, Sofyan Layana on Kick said it. And up higher you put Como. No si pa como. He doesn't speak English. Ah, I see. I'm everything I am. I'm everything you need. Alright. So we got the win there. Let's see what rewards we got today. I gotta get my... Does it even matter to get my daily games? I don't think there's any SP available right now, guys. I already completed the Gritty to Glory. That's why I got such an insane team. Screw all these rewards like the delete and all that, even though that's a sick card for sure. Literally just about a perfect CB, literally. But where's the hell where's all the SP, you stooges? Everything I am and I'm everything you need. What in the mother of trucks? Alright, so how did I get SP to even get this, bros? It's Nori Nori, the Algerian Man City boy. Can spend 1,000, and that would give me an extra 4K, I think. Way back here. I don't care about the other rewards. But there it is. I get 4K in SP right there if I put 1,000 coins in. So 1,000 coins gets me 4K in SP, which then will get me... So I'm at level 20, 15 days to get 20 levels. Dude, I feel like it took me longer to get... Could be wrong, but 4K would put me right... Here, 4K would give me 4 levels, so the other 4K would give me to 28. Damn, dude, we'll see what happens. That Rangers card's got to be ridiculous. Another card that's going to be sick, but his starter card's going to be so overpriced. There's the other 4,000. I hope I can get to the end of this, bro. What else can I do to get more FC points? The daily challenges don't guarantee you SP, I don't think. Can anybody confirm or deny that? When you finish your daily play, does it give you SP? Or it's got to say it in here, right, guys? I think it's got to say it. Seven footies pack, 7 times footies, but not 99 footies. I'm so lost. 3 times 88, and then here I get 5 times 88, and the footies delete. Gianni Cardoso, the American Atletico Madrid. I mean, bros, there's nothing. There's nothing for SP out here. Kwanzaa. Zeko. Yeah. So that's that. Let's see if we can open anything up. But I'm so glad I got to use Hullets 99. I wish all the AI movement was that good. Wait, what am I doing? If Lucio and use him as right back, I think he'll be a beast on the right. Nice. Hell yeah, bro. Yeah, it's hard for me to even play this with how bad the gameplay is. It's hard for me to even play. All right, let's go back into this. I'm excited to look into, dude, because I played the beta, you got to remember, so I think that kind of made it harder for me too. We're going to look at wingers. We're going to go ahead. You guys are going to get a double deal here. If not, these will be summed up in a video with the players highlighted. I'll cut out the extra stuff. So don't worry. But I'd love for you guys to stay enjoying. This time I'll try to look back better at the... OBS needs to start showing me that. So if you ever have donated to the channel, because I do get some donations, or done what Phil did in gift subs, like Phil's done it, Owen, great support is amazing. They know I love him to death. But if I don't say thank you, it's only because I'm in a broadcaster, whatever you want to call it, a system outside of. So I'm looking at chat for Kick, YouTube, and Twitch, and it doesn't show the details like the gifts and the stuff like that. So if you ever leave super thanks, for one, thank you so much. It helps the channel. Everything you give goes right back into the channel. And two, trust me, I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I just am not seeing it like I would if I wasn't in a multi-chat thing. Should do a tournament. Yeah, we could do a tournament, bro. Let me think. This weekend, probably I wouldn't be free until Sunday. Maybe next week we do a send-off, like a FC send-off cup. That would be fun. Nice, Phil. That's dope, bro. That's dope. That's dope. Yeah, let's look at next weekend as a send-off. Because I'm looking at the calendar now. This weekend I'll be busy for sure. The 13th. And then the weekend after that, boys, as a content creator, I'll have FC on the 18th. And I'll share with you guys, of course. It's not like the beta where I can't share it. Bro, I have that video of me beating Gibaros a day after he beat Tex, and I can't share it with you guys. I'm about to just break the rules. I beat him 5-4 the day after he knocked off Tex. If you guys don't understand how big that is, I beat a world championship player. He was at the world championships. We were watching him play, broke down his gameplay. The next day I play him on the beta and beat him. I have it recording, looking at it. And I can't even share it. Look at this, guys. I'll give you a little sneak peek. Check this out. I want to share with you guys so bad because that'd be cool to watch and have you guys break it down. And you should see how good the gameplay looks too. God, you guys are going to love. It takes that addicting passing of FC26 or eFootball and makes it even sharper. It's just, dude, even the new screen that shows you where the players, how much, what area they covered, like in real life, and like, dude, it's just so much stuff, bro. Hold on. I can put a picture in here, right? I can't put a picture in chat. There's no way. Bro! Alright, hold on. Screw this. Screw this. Check this out, guys. Just real quick. Not that one. Is it this one? Look at that. Real quick. Boom. Look up that name. That was this goal. I was down 4-2. Came back and won 5-4. FC26 beta. Pretty dope, huh? So I gotta get that off of there, unfortunately. But look up that name, that Gibaros. Alright, now going back to Radar FC. Whoops, wrong thing. You can hear me sniffling in there. That's how bad my allergies have been for so long, guys. Alright. I have to start off the video, so when I do my reintroduction, just shout out to Radar, by the way. This is a beautiful, beautiful, even better database. So 1 second, by positions. Cam's out of there. We go left wings, then right wings, of course. Then the strikers. Yeah. Let's check out our left wings. And now we move into the fun positions. Left wingers. So just a recap. We are looking over all of our starter squad players that aren't going to be way overpriced because of the league they're in. The Zobaslides, the Vandevins, the Tamoris. They'd be great if you pack them. Excellent. If you pack them tradable, I'd actually sell them and take the coins because they're going to crash quick. And you don't want to sink coins into those players because there's other players a little lower on the stats side, but still extremely good, right? And that's what you're going to want to go for. So, with that being said, we're at left wingers now. We're going to look into that today, and it will help you guys when the game comes out to hit the ground running. Because what happens if you don't prepare the right way and you come out, you start playing the game, you start getting some coins, you have no idea what players to look for. You're stuck with these coins, you want to get a team out there, and you're lost on what players to look for. Or you think of a player and it's not even near as good as of a player as you could have got. If you're organized and you have the best players to look out for, you have a list made, you can reference these videos, you're going to maximize the value of your coins. You're going to make sure you don't lose coins. So, as we go through this, note this down. And remember, if there's players like, let's see, Rafael Leao is a perfect example. Huge dip in overall, right? He went from one of the best wingers, top gold player that you know is going to hold their value, to now an 84 within the realm of starter squad status. As I said, the cutoff is between like 84 and 80, just typically. 85 and 86 are the middleman cards you don't want. And then like the 87s and above, some 87s are even cards you don't want that are going to lose value quick. But then you get your Salahs and Mbappes. Even a card like Rangers looks to be a great like deep line playmaker or cam, or in that central role that you can hold for a long time. There's certain cards like that you can invest in because they're going to hold their value. These cards that we're going over they're going to crash quick. And so you don't want the super high, oversaturated cards that everyone's just going to buy. So the value's going to go way up because they're popular and then crash. Rafael Leao, he's one of them. Yes, 93 pace, 78 shooting though, 80 passing, 86 dribbling, sick, 75 physical, right? You may be able to make an exception for Rafael Leao and say, oh, I could probably get an evolution or two depending on if it has a pace cutoff or not. Maybe I can invest in him, but as players start to pack the good 85s, good 86s, there's so many higher players that people want over this 84 Leao that he's going to keep depreciating. So if you sink a lot of coins into him, boom, first team of the week comes out. Boom, first promo comes out. These cards are all just going to go down and down and down. The higher up gold cards, and then of course you're going to start getting your promo, your special cards. Any middleman cards, 85, 86 rated, and then 84 and below, go for the best value. And that's what we're looking into today. Now there are some higher level players. Look at Bierenstein, for example. If people wisen up and see this 90 pace, 80 shooting, left winger striker, oh yeah, 86 dribbling, if they see some of these stats, she's going to be probably too expensive to wear. Even though she's good, you don't want to get her. You want to go with the lower rated player. We're going to look at that. We're going to go back to that like we've done in other positions. But just to show you, you can get an 84 rated maybe because there's a chance that Bierenstein, if she's just a little more expensive but affordable, absolutely get a player like this. I mean, you got the best of every world. So you have a 5'4" player, low and compact, so naturally feels better on the ball. 76 physical, so she's, for a starter card, going to be amongst the more physical players. 86 dribbling, which is OP for a starter card. 73 passing, but who cares because she's an attacker. 80 shooting, 90 pace. Finesse shot, so she can cut in. Precision header, game changer, so she has Trivella. Technical and quick step. Are you kidding me? Left wing, inside forward, etch her name in. If she's not just ridiculously overpriced, find a way to make her work in your squad. Without a doubt. And because she's not in a popular league, because she's a woman, which it sounds crazy, but it's true. There's a lot of men's players, or players, period, that will only use men's players. Stupidest thing in the world, but it's true. And they just, by the stats, are way less popular. Good. That leaves room for us to get these beasts early on and dominate on the pitch. Their loss, our gain. Which means if a card like Bierenstein as a left winger is 2,000 coins and Rafael Leao is 8,000 coins, you would be stupid to not get Bierenstein. Right? Oh, well, I like Rafael Leao. If this dude isn't your uncle, your dad, or gave you an autograph and now you love him forever, you better get Bierenstein over Rafael Leao. Same with Salma, but I think by now she's got a name. She's had some special cards. Not to mention, these women's players are always have a better chance of being overpriced. Spain, Barcelona can connect with the men's team. Popular nationality, popular team. She's probably going to be overpriced. Barcola, probably going to be overpriced. Almost guaranteed. Majri, France. What team is this? They got a men's team? Because sometimes, yes, Lyonnais. Duh. They just have that's a weird looking badge. I guess it's like either a women's badge thing or it's like a anniversary. But didn't look like the typical Lyon badge, so I thought she got traded. So she has a chance of being overpriced. Can she play Cam or not? Nope. She's real slow for a left winger, but look at that dribbling. And she is insane on the ball. Look at that passing. She is built to be a Cam, bro. I might even put her as only half winger so she can't even play playmaker as a CM. Maybe wide playmaker since it's a plus and just don't plan on running too much with her. Or, I mean, you can dribble quick in and out, but you're not going to break away from anybody. Even the 79 defense, bro. 75 physical. Give her some better play styles. They almost teased us with that one. Because you would want her anywhere but winger. CM, give her playmaker. Cam, give her anything. But what a sick card stat-wise outside of the pace. Even the shooting, you could put a Hunter on it. And the pace even would be not terrible, but definitely not for winger what you typically would want. They do that to her every year, so I had to point that out. But I digress. Let's get way down in the ranks we want to look at. And where on earth? That's all of them. So that's all the wingers we're going to go over. So let's just start down here. If I had to pick a player, one gold player that I truly could get, great question, shout out Kickoff Theory. One gold player, this is a good one. Let me think about this real quick. I'm going to change the question to winger real quick. Gold winger that I can get no matter what. Let's keep it to gold card. But I want to go to winger because the obvious answer would be Mbappe. In FC26, I packed Mbappe, untradeable, 2 weeks into the game, and had him for months, and he was insane. About a month and a half, 2 months after I packed him originally, I pack him again untradeable. Ridiculous. Just like packing R996 and R999 and, Footy FC25, but they gave those crazy rewards, so it was kind of a cheat. Everyone's got insane teams. When I packed Mbappe, that was pure double luck. And he's the most insane gold card there is. So valuable. Even his team of the weeks are coming out. Promos are coming out. Mbappe's just crushing everyone. He's stayed in my team for months and months. Defensively, Van Dijk. Yes, I know about his pace decrease. Doesn't matter. Pace has been decreased for everybody if you guys didn't notice. Yeah, there's still some crazy speedy wingers and stuff. But positioning matters more than ever. And even at 73 pace, Van Dijk, ridiculous. Ridiculous. His positioning's so good. He has so much room for error. When you time a tackle, even if you're a bit further away, he's going to make it. Which is how it should be. A defender's skill should be like that, right? The stats are rewarded with more room for error for the user. So you combine the user skill with the players and and it equals out to how you do on the pitch. Van Dijk is just insane. He can take a bad defensive player on the sticks and turn him into a decent, turn him good, and a good defensive player he can turn him lights out, pro level great. Because he's that good, as long as you just somewhat know defending. So it would be Mbappe on the attack, Van Dijk defensively. And if I had to go to more of like a central midfielder, like a creator, like a puzzle piece to connect the game. Ooh. Even though I don't like Bellingham's card later in the game. Valverde. I was going to say Bellingham, but there's something about Valverde. He's just a demon. And Bellingham's super good too, but he's more like you want to play him cam, but he's not. There's like players that you would rather have at cam. Because I like my cams to be almost like second forwards, but have a little bit of an ability to be like kind of a number 10, but more of a deep running second forward. And Bellingham's not that. Right? And then defensively, he's not good enough to be a deep line playmaker because he doesn't have as good defensively. He's kind of stuck in no man's land. Valverde, built to be like a deep line playmaker. So I would say those are my favorite gold cards. So there you go. Little side note for you guys. Great question. Kickoff Theory, by the way. All right, so let's look. So right off the bat. This is going to be a challenge. Akturkoglu. And I know that's how you pronounce in Turkish. It's interesting pronunciation. But 85 pace, 75 shooting, 74 passing, 81 dribbling. Right? You put a 100 on him, he gets to 95 pace, gets his shooting up into the upper 70s. If you need a Benfica player, Turkey international, boom. You can note him down. There's going to be a lot of players like this. Loriente, French international, Serie A. This could make him a bit overpriced because out of all the leagues, well, Serie A, French, I guess there's some decent amount of players. This French international, because it's like the decade of France players, if you didn't notice. So many good France levels at all the different levels, so many good France players at all the different levels. There's a good chance he could be overpriced, but look at this. 91 pace, 77 shooting, 83 dribbling. Can be a ridiculous starter card, right? 4-3, so 3-star weak foot, right? But he's a righty, so he cuts in on his right. He has finesse shot, play style. Also has Trivela in case he could play the right, cut in and Trivela it, right? Incisive pass, rapid, trickster, and quick step. Rapid and quick step is huge. So both explosive sprint and while dribbling, he's got speed increases. Trickster could come in handy. I mean, that's a sick card. 5'7", cuts in for finesse shots. Beautiful thing. Does he have inside forward? Of course. He's built to be an inside forward. Left mid or left wing. Mark Loriente down as a good starter player that could be good price too. Excellent nationality, good enough league. But he could have a fair value. But then there is that possibility could be overpriced. Just mark him down. He could be a snipe. Skip over Lang. Barnes. For personal reasons. I mean, you could put 100 on him if you like him enough. But that England Premier League, for a card like Barnes, it's surely going to make him overrated. So no on Barnes. Sancho. Great dribbler. Kind of like Majri, though. If you add the cam ability, you put Catalyst on him, even though his shooting sucks. But wide playmaker, even with the sick dribbling, I like some of his special cards, but no way. Premier League, Man United, both him and Barnes, skip over him. Don't even note him down. Grealish, same thing. Great dribbling, good enough passing, can only play on the left side. Wide playmaker, shut him down. Will he be as popular with these stats and going... Oh no, he's still listed as Man City. We know that's going to change, but either way, 3 weak foot, just no way. Not a chance. All three of these England International Premier Leaguers, no. Right? No way. Doku, no. Cross him out. That 91 pace in Man City is going to make this dude so inflated. And listen, it's a waste. Look at those stats. Just compare him to Loriente. 91, 91. 71, 77. 72, 74. 87 dribbling, 83. Okay. But it's not going to be enough to make... Doku's going to be like 20K, let's say. Let's just say 50K. Let's say we get outrageous with it. Loriente is going to be like 2,000. Like tops, maybe. Or let's say even 5 to 25 or whatever. It's going to be ridiculous, and you can't justify that change. No way, no how. Both 4-star skills, both 3-star weak foot. And Doku, inside forward, left wing. You wouldn't want him playmaker with 72 passing. Right wing, he can play on the right side, but only winger. I mean, I guess that could be good. Although that 3-star weak foot over there on the left, so he'd have to be a crosser. If he cuts in on his left, it's not going to be very good. So yeah, do not go for Doku. Loriente, mark him off if he's not overpriced, yes. Doku, Grealish, Sancho, Barnes, no way. Carrasco, absolutely. Belgium, too bad you can't connect him to Doku if you're smart. But Belgium, if you can find some good Belgians, obviously, what is this dude playing in the... Oh, that's the Saudi League. I forgot he moved to Saudi League. Bro, Carrasco, mark him down. If you're going Saudi League route, perfect. You put 100 on him and he's, 95 pace, 80, 6-ish shooting? That's huge. 77 passing, 85 dribbling. I think he's like 5'10", if I remember, 5'11", okay, 4'4", that's good. Inside forward or playmaker. There's your left winger, left mid right there if you're running a Belgium or Saudi League squad. Boom. David Neres. David Neres is a beast. Throwback to, what was that? FIFA 22. Might have been 23, but I think it was 22. Remember the Ajax studs when you had Haller, who went to Dortmund at the time? Neres. Anthony was there before Anthony left to go to Man U. Wasn't it Anthony? I'm almost positive. Yeah, it was. This is who I wanted Man U to pick up over Anthony, guys. David Neres. 86 pace, 76 shooting, 75 passing, 86 dribbling. Guys, he's ridiculous on the ball. Like, at that time, he was like the Brazilian Messi. Skill moves, 5-star skill moves. That's beastly. Yes, it's a 3-star weak foot, but he's a lefty on the left side. Ouch. Does he have game changer? Yep. He can at least Trivela. Not Trivela plus, but Trivela. Right? He can play wide playmaker or inside forward. Cut in. Trivela shot. He also has inventive, so he has a Trivela pass, whip pass, technical quick step. So good enough. Not great passing, but good enough. Amazing on the ball. Could absolutely be a beast winger. Serie A now. And Brazilian. So his price could be, I mean, he's going to be affordable, let's be honest. But you never know. Just in case, though, you definitely want to mark him down. He's not a sure shot going to be overpriced, but there's a chance. He does have a bit of a name, but only for those who remember, the FIFA a while ago. Right? But he's a beast of a player. An amazing feel. He's one of those players in FC in particular. He feels amazing. He's awesome. Martinelli, skip him. Great card. Would be a great starter card to have. But this right here and this right here compared to this right here, mark him to check. He's going to be overpriced. I know it's crazy. I'd rather have Neres anyways. Let me look. Yeah, I'd rather have Neres over this. Look at this. And what a fall from grace for Martinelli, by the way. Definitely mark down Javi, by the way. Unreal card. 88 pace, 77 shooting, 79 passing, 85 dribbling. Right? Only wide playmaker, though, and only rapid. But still, dude, that probably will lower her price. You can literally put her wide playmaker. You can put her pace. You can put a Hunter on her, a catalyst, to get her passing in the upper 80s. 85 dribbling. I would do Hunter because her passing's decent enough for a starter card. 4-star weak foot. See, that's what I was saying. I'd rather have 4-star weak foot than skills. A lot of players see that 3-star skills and will pass up on her. But, dude, she's 5'5". All you need is left stick dribbling. Especially with the more tighter to the foot, responsive left stick. You get a player like Javi, lower priced, right? She's got a Roma link. Maybe you find a couple Roma players on the men's side. Defensively, sorry, I'm losing my voice too, so you're going to notice that from coaching and doing these videos because I get all hype. But that's okay. But the not as popular country could help you get her for a reasonable price. So definitely mark her down. Same with Bussy. Mark her down. Women's German League. Maybe you can connect her with Bierenstein. Bierenstein can play striker or vice versa. Or Bussy could play right. That's the thing with the more open positions. You're not as isolated in what you can do with each player. It's a beautiful thing. But if you didn't see the trend now, or if you didn't watch my video, I released one of my first FC26 prep videos. I called it, and it's holding true. It's going to hold true. I'm telling you, based on the beta, women are going to be OP. Now, this isn't the first year this is the case, but this year more than ever, they're going to be OP. Why? Not only are they typically smaller, which typically means they're better on the ball, whereas bigger players are clunky, but because EA Sports wanted to make it more realistic where the bigger players have value too, they added an insane OP offensive, like almost shielding while you're dribbling technique. And if you have Enforcer Plus, it's even better. To where a defender might come up, it looks like you're cleanly going to win the ball, and a more physical player will literally offensively push you off the ball. They had to even nerf it from the beta. But that's good because you want the bigger players to have the value that the smaller, shifty players have. However, look at the loophole. The smaller women players that are also very strong, and because of the relativity of it, meaning they could be 5'6", 95 strength for a girl, and even though Holland would truly be way stronger, her 95 strength might be stronger than Holland's, who's towering over her. So you're going to have a small, compact, good dribbler with a physical dribbler as well, physical, strong side of the game as well. That's huge. So make sure you note that down and watch players like Bussy and even especially Bierenstein with that 76 physical. Could be huge. Bussy, give her 100. She goes around 94, 92-ish pace with like 87-ish shooting. Now, why am I saying that, by the way? If they go +8, right? I love how you can download the card. That's cool. I can't wait till he needs to add where you can add in the chemistry styles. I'm sure that's next. But the new, with the way the chem works, if they get the 3 stars, they get +8. All right? And like 100 would bring you up, not 10, so you go +8, which would be 82-ish. 79, 89, if it, back in the old days it was 10. I say back in the old days, like FIFA 22 even, it was 10, I think. I'm almost positive. And then like 23 or 24, they change it. So now instead of, like back in the day, would have been 94 pace, 89 shooting with 100. Now it would be 92 shooting, 87, or sorry, 92 pace, 87 shooting. So when I'm talking about these stat upgrades, that's what I'm doing. I'm seeing what the chemistry would, typical chemistry you would use on the players would bring them up to. Just to fully explain that. Right? And for those who don't know, the chemistry styles are extremely important, and they don't have that in eFootball or UFL. They're just stat boosters that you can go and get with your coins. Simple as that. The max they can cost is 5,000, and certain ones do all throughout the season. The ones with the big pace boost at the beginning, like Hunter and Shadow, they're going to be expensive. So make sure you keep that in mind. If you put a player out without a chem style, right, you're going to be able to notice it quickly because +8 pace boost is pretty dang significant. So if you're coming over from UFL or eFootball, note down chemistry styles, look them up online, and remember how to utilize them. It's not enough of a video to create, because you can easily look up, oh, Hunter gives you a shooting and pace boost +8. Oh, Engine gives you a dribbling and pace boost plus half of that. Like, you can figure it out yourself easily. You just buy the consumable, add it, and those certain stats get boost the player, and this, Hunter gives these stats boost. Engine gives these. They all have different names. Simple. You can look that up on your own time. I just want to explain that. Don't forget the chem styles. And so you knew what I was talking about when I boost their stats in my head. Gordon, another one. Could be a beast, absolutely. A little bit lower dribbling than usual, but for an 83, I feel like that dribbling. Who was that had ridiculous... It just seems weird compared to some of the cams. One in particular, I can't remember, that was an 80-2. Man, I can't remember who it was, but you want to ignore Gordon anyway. England, Premier League, Brazil, Premier League, they're going to be overpriced. Even if players don't necessarily love Gordon, they love their other Doku and all these other players that they then can put. For instance, you put Doku on the left side, you throw Gordon on the right side. Now you have that Premier League connection. And that's the name of the game, right? Trossard, if he could play cam, would be a beast. You see here, 80 pace, 81 shooting, 80 passing, 85 dribbling. But as a winger or striker, inside forward, false nine, no. I mean, could he make false nine work? Yes. With the great dribbling, could he somewhat make inside forward, like on the left side? Good, yeah. But having that slower player, you'd be surprised, man. Even as good as the dribbling it is, That breakaway speed is huge. It keeps the defenders on their toes. If they know you got a turtle out there, they can take a little more chances because they know they can recover on you, and they can eat a sandwich before before they get back and still beat you to the run you're making. It's that big of a difference between a 90-plus pacer, and then, 88 you could take them to, as opposed to like a 98 pacer that players put on their defensive players. So you just got to keep that in mind. Then what we will do is call it right there. Right? Now, I will give you actually, before we call it, one more example. We're going to go only 85 rate. Actually, no, we're going to go the middlemen that you got to stay away from, because I know it's going to tempt you. You're going to see some players on this list. Okay, right here. Chawinga, absolute beast. You even got one of the Roma Trio players, Gervinho, absolute beast. Obviously, he's going to be high priced. You don't have to worry about talking you off the ledge with him. Caicedo, 91 pace, 75 shooting, 87 dribbling, though 79 passing. Ecuador, if I'm not mistaken, Colombia, not Ecuador. She's not Hincapié. Colombia, like her bro. It's got to be her bro or cousin or something. But the Chelsea Caicedo. But the thing is, Colombian, good connection to like Caicedo or brother or whatever. But she has Real Madrid. She could be overpriced because of that. Oh my God, 91. And she's 85 rated. Right? She could be a beast of a Cam. You give her Catalyst or something. Cam, what could she play? Inside forward plus left wing. If she played Cam, only half winger. Okay. So she's built to be a winger. She's going to be overpriced. Chawinga, there's two of them now. This is the Chawinga I know. Cousins, unrelated. They don't look alike necessarily, but you never know. They got to be related. What country is that? Malawi. They got to be related. Both left wingers. But this Chawinga can play striker. This Chawinga can play left or right mid. This Chawinga inside forward plus. On the left, on the right, she can just play right mid, inside forward plus. But no right wing. 4-4. Oh my God. So yeah, she's going to be ridiculously priced. 4-3. So only 3-star weak foot. She's a lefty. So her right's her weak foot. Oh, so she's not a cut-in player. And on the left, she's wide playmaker. But still, that pace, that shooting, I damn near would put her at false 9. Even though I'd rather have her be a advanced forward, which, by the way, she played this year. I used her just now as an advanced forward in the Gritty to Glory Cup. I use this exact player. Still a beast. Then I could even use her on the right side, so what the hell? They took away that from her. Because who did I have on the left? I had, or maybe I did use her on the left. Either way, both these Chawingas, tempting, but they're going to be overpriced. Son, he's actually going to be MLS. LAFC. When you put a 100 on him, especially with that playstyle plus, the finesse plus cutting into his right, signature with, around 92 pace, around 92 shooting, 81 passing, 83 dribbling. Just a simple cut-in player with the 5-star weak foot, 4-star skills, right? But I guess you can look at the MLS, and he's South Korean. There's no way to really connect him, guys. Now that he's lost that Premier League tag, you see how valuable that Premier League tag is. I mean, that could be interesting. Mark Son down, guys. But then you got to worry about how to get full Kim from him too. Because I'm telling you, it makes a difference, especially with gold cards. Maybe you were playing players out of position recently with footies and stuff, and you couldn't really tell. And I'm telling you guys, 1 Kim, 2 Kim, or 3 Kim, it's a huge difference between no Kim to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3. Big differences. So if you can't get Son at least to 1 star, 1 Kim, hope wishfully too. Even if he's affordable, you can't take him because that MLS, which is going to be what it is in the full release, is going to crush him. These Chawinga cards, there's great women's Liga 1 players. Not to mention you could connect with some of the men just to complete it if you had to. But she's doable, especially if you got both Chawingas. You could get some good chem even if you did a little Liga 1 NWSL hybrid, which is honestly what I'm aiming at. However, there's also some good women's League F players. So I'm not only going for women. I'm not going to do that. But that's a big target of mine. If it comes down to a man versus woman player, and there's a shorter, compact, but strong woman player, I'm taking her over a bigger, lumbering, just equally strong, but the bigger, lumbering male player. Just with how EAFC works. I'm going with that smaller, more compact, but strong player. Now, where I need aerial presence, like center back, nope. Almost 100% going to be on the men's side. Right? I have a player right now for my team in the footies team. What is it? Williamson or Greenwood? Williamson, I think it is. 5'7". Pretty short. Around Cordoba. Cannavaro, just about an inch shorter. But nonetheless, typically speaking, I'm going for defensively men. Wing back, it's a 50-50. If that cross to the back post and headers are super dangerous, and I know I'm just going to get dunked on with my small Karchawi or Baca, well then, no matter how good they are on the ball or like just keeping up with players and tackling, I'd have to bypass. Because otherwise, skilled players are going to spam crosses and dunk on, my smaller wingback. Right? If head balls aren't a threat at all, even if they got an open cross, like if, you can see how the game's going with it. Absolutely. What is that? What the heck? All right. Sorry, I got totally sidetracked. But yeah, so it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see. Man, those Chawingas look good. So yeah, we will see how it goes. But these are going to be overpriced. I could do this for any position. You do not want to get into this middle ground area. Obviously, Gervinho, you want to save up to get a card like him if he's 85 rated. Special card. He's going to hold his price pretty good. But also, look at the stats. 94 pace to 91. 75 shooting compared to Chawinga's 82. 78, so they're equal. 86 to 83. Even this Gervinho is going to be terribly overpriced. Compared to, like, if you get to that point, look at these Chawinga cards that you know are going to be much lower. It's not like Ivory Coast is that much of a good connection. Not to mention, well, he is a hero, so that gives you the added bonus. He'll have top chem, and he gives, I don't know what he gives. I forgot, heroes give something, then icons. Or maybe heroes just get full chem. Whatever it is. It's been so long since I've even had to look at chem that I spent this year pretty much away from FC since 25 was so bad, like December leaving the game to play every football game to kind of compare them. It's funny how you forget those little details that were just like buried in your brain. But anyways, that's that. Stay away from these gold cards at the beginning of the game because they're going to crash quick. The first SBC, the first team of the week, the first promo, then players are packing gold players. Right? And they're not just going to, everyone's packing, the next up on left wing and right wing and striker and just, but there's enough players around the world that's going to drive the value of these players down quickly. You want players that are rarely packed, those top grade players that are going to hold their value. That's who you're saving up for. Until then, you use your starter team. You don't get tempted. You don't sink your coins into players that are surely going to lose value, which means you're screwed once you have used them up. Power curves passed. You need new players, and guess what? You can't afford nothing. What you bought 11 players with, once you sell them off and get your coins back, now you can buy 2 players. Congrats. You crashed your whole team. Be smart here. Do not get tempted. If it's not a good value, there's a small chance Son could be worth your while if you know you can connect him. And there's a small chance he's at least cheap enough because of the league, but we'll see. I almost think that players are just going to say, screw it, we're going to make it work with Finesse Plus and it's Son, and I got to get him. Same with these Chewinga cards. I think they're well enough known now because they've become starter squad icons, if you will, that they'll be way overpriced too, but you can note them down just to check. Same with Caicedo, right? Claudia, of course, is well known, but always lacking in pace. And as you can see, it's a shame, but even with 83 passing, they don't allow her to play cam. I mean, false 9, somewhat of like a number close to number 10. Maybe wide playmaker. You see wide playmaker plus. But man, that pace would hurt you. Even the lovely low driven plus, which is highly sought after this year. Why? Because you can low driven every shot now. Before it was just, power your shot under 40%. It's a low driven. By pressing O under 40. Nope. Now, finesse, you can low driven. Power shot, you can low driven. You can just low driven to low driven. Same as this year. But you can low driven everything. Power shots, finesse shots, everything but chip shots, obviously. But that's that. Don't get sucked into the players that are just going to lose value no matter what. There's always lower rated coins that aren't much lower, but value-wise, they're way cheaper. And that's how you're going to keep a healthy coin balance, and you're going to stay ahead of the game. So if you enjoyed this video, smash the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. We still have right wingers coming, and then strikers. I'm going to go rest up my voice, drink some honey and water. You guys have a good one. Make sure if you want to support the channel, you can always donate, super thanks, stuff like that. But we also have memberships so you can get some value back. Both YouTube and Discord, $2.99 a month. Link in YouTube bio or search OGamester FC. Any questions you have, please let me know. I always love to hear your feedback as well on these players and on anything else. So, until next time, peace out. All right, kickoff. Let me answer your question before I roll. That was a sayonara to the video. Kickoff, I'll answer your question real quick, boys. Phil, special thanks to you for all the gifted subs. You are the man. I hope as a brand new player you're learning from these videos. You're starting to understand transfer market and how to get players and what to look for. And kickoff. Which will harm Kim, I think. Okay. Sun gone. Yes, Sun demo. So, yep. So we answered that. Chewinga and Kalora are insane. Yes. OG, will FC26 be on EA Pro subscription? EA Pro subscription meaning will you get early access? I believe you do. Let me look it up for you real quick just because. Hopefully, kickoff. Are you still here, buddy? Hopefully I caught him before he rolled out. EA Pro. FC26 early. EA Play Pro. I think he might have rolled out. Sorry, kickoff, if I missed you, buddy. But yes, you do get it. Oh, wait. The EA Play Pro membership automatically grants you the PC version of the Ultimate Edition. Interesting. So if you're on PC, it sounds like you get the Ultimate Edition free. EA Play Pro membership automatically grants you PC version of, okay, platform. This early access is for the PC version of the game through the EA app. In addition to early, it provides other Ultimate Edition bonuses such as FC points and subs. So I don't know. Looks like, okay, good. You're going to have to do some more research on that, but I believe be on EA Pro subscription. It looks like you're still going to have to, same here, I'm on PS5, so it says PC. I wouldn't think that it would specify that if it didn't mean that you still had to buy the Ultimate Edition. But double check it, because that was just a quick research. Double check it. And, yeah, let me know what's up. And let me know what's up on comments under any video. This one, any of them, I always read them. I'm not too big for my britches yet. I know eventually I'll get to the point where it's too much, but right now I read all your feedback, so feel free to ask me anything. It might take me a minute, but once I get to it, I will for sure answer you. Good, bad, or ugly, brutally honest, as always, because that's what helps. And we, together, will keep enjoying the game, keep trying to help each other. I really hope I can turn this Discord thing into the beast I know it can be as I gain your trust, as we gain trust with each other, as we start getting to know each other more, rooting for each other. It's going to be a special time, boys. We have a great community of people. You guys mean everything because this is my hobby. I don't golf. I don't bowl. I don't have the ability to go play football anymore. I coach in real life, and I love all my kids I coach. And that's why I started this channel. And you guys, to be following me still, you guys have an eye for the game too, because rats just simply wouldn't like my channel. Let's be honest. Rats don't want to watch any type of good football, and they don't like what I say about them. So we're like-minded guys, and maybe some girls, you never know, that are looking to accomplish the same goal, which is have fun and reach our full potential in these games that we invest so much time into. So that's what we'll continue doing, is having fun, looking to get better and better, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.